Okay guys, welcome to the garden. Today we're going to do a bit of a garden tour, show you what we got growing and what's doing well and what's not. I will say before we get going, this is not a garden for show, this is a garden for food. We harvest out of here every day. We don't really care what the garden looks like, we're just enjoying the food out of it. Okay, let's get started. We'll start down the other end, go bed to bed, take a look at what we have on the go right now. First bed is half empty. This is Thai basil here. You see how big that is. Most of the leaves are gone. It is the off season for that one. We have a few. Over here is eggplant. These are volunteer. Let's see. Got some flowers and there's a fruit somewhere right there. These are the little green eggplant. There's a couple of them. They get a little bit bigger than that, about the size of a golf ball. Got some seeds hanging there. I think that's some kind of flower, nothing to do with me. And my cucumber is done. Didn't have a very good year with cucumbers, that's for sure. And like the plant's only 6 feet long and it's dead, so that ain't good. Over here on the back wall is mostly bitter gourd. I feed this most every day to the rabbits, but there's a few fruit on here. Around here they eat mostly just the vines and not the fruit. There they are. Similar to bitter melon. The plant looks the same, the fruit is different. And this one here looks like a pea. It is some kind of pea, but you don't eat the pods. That's the seed from the bitter gourd. Or bitter melon, whichever one it is. Like that, you don't eat those. You actually, let me show you here, eat the flowers. And they use these flowers for dyeing food. You can turn food purple or bluish purple with those flowers. They're supposed to be really good for you. I got another eggplant here, quite a few flowers on this one. No fruit yet, I don't think. We have green onions or shallots. We grow them as green onions. We have them all over the place. 3 or 4 beds have them. I think 4. Chinese celery. This is, I don't know what happened here. A different variety. Every leaf has got this little thing growing out of it here. And right from the start, the very first true leaf, add that on it. Very strange, and the plants haven't done nearly as well as what we're used to. Got some, a lot of tomatoes growing. I haven't grown tomatoes in a couple of years. We've had a lot of issues with fruit fly. So I'll give it a try this year. These 3 here are from somebody else. And they got fruit on. That one's quite a lot smaller. They were the same going in. And all over here, like we grow our seedlings in the bed. And I dropped the entire pack of tomato seeds right here. I spread the soil around, but never came back. I took out a few plants and we transplanted some, but I got to do something with this because it ain't doing the tomatoes any favors. Looking like this. These are Thai pink egg. Small trusses, small tomatoes. The size of an egg and they're pink. Lemongrass. It's getting overgrown actually. There's 3 plants here. I cut one all the way back. One here a couple days ago and you can see it's sending out new leaves. Now they will get overgrown and kill themselves. It does happen. And we use a lot of lemongrass, but we also grow a lot. Now, in this pot grew turmeric obviously should have been harvested a month ago. It's a different kind of turmeric than I've ever grown before. The mother was way bigger. You can see the size of that. I don't know what's going to be in the pot. The plant was magnificent. It was touching the shade roof. So it was 6 feet high. And all around here, the rest of the empty bed was ginger. That's the last plant standing. Again, should have been harvested ages ago. Leaving it in the ground is not doing it any favors. But, you know, we're busy. Too busy. Broccoli is doing really good this year. And I tell you, if you've never grown or had homegrown broccoli, you're missing out. You cut this and walk towards the kitchen, and by the time you get to the kitchen, your broccoli is already finished. It's that good. You can eat it like an ice cream. Looking pretty good. We've had a couple off here. There's one right there. Fresh harvest. Last year we didn't get any broccoli. The year before we had a ton. We got 4 harvests off a plant. Most plants 3 and 4 harvests, because after you cut the top off, then you get the side shoots coming out, and the side shoots produce way more, 3 or 4 times more broccoli than the actual top that, well, most people know. Plus all these leaves, we're juicing these in the mornings to put it in our morning juice. 3 or 4 of these big broccoli leaves. I've stir-fried them. They're really good as well. There's a lot of food right here. And when I planted these, or these are transplants, I planted shallots in around them. I don't think the shallots are having any fun right now, but you see any bug damage? You know, hardly any holes. Did the shallots have anything to do with that? I have no idea, but it seemed to have worked, even though the shallots are pretty much sacrificial at this point. And we got some flowers up here. I do believe that these are marigolds, or in the marigold family, small marigold. And no idea. Got a chili plant right here that's diseased. There's actually 2 or 3, and they got to come out. Mr. Rabbit, he likes a broccoli too. Pandan leaf. We've had this growing in the same spot here now for, I'd say, 5 years plus, and it produces like crazy. Give away tons. I just cut the entire plants down and feed it to the goats. More broccoli. This is the original patch. Again, we just broadcast the seed here and then transplanted them out as they started to grow. Cilantro is pretty much done. But again, got a mountain out of here. Giving away handfuls every day sometimes. We give away a ton of food this time of year. Chinese celery didn't do much this year. Not much like normal, that's for sure. Got a few more broccoli plants, some green onions. This one here is sawtooth coriander. You see the size on it? Really rough. It doesn't feel sharp, but it looks sharp, you know. Quite a popular ingredient in Northeast Thailand food. And it grows basically wild. We never plant it. Got to keep thinning it out. It's nearly invasive. Over here we got some transplanted tomatoes, and I put 2 rows of tomatoes, 1 on each side, and in the middle I broadcast flowering pak choi. And this stuff doubled in size since yesterday. Unbelievable. Looks a lot like spinach there, but it's called flowering pak choi. It goes to flower instantly, and you eat the flowers as well. Great big leaves it makes. We have lots of it. This is the second crop of this year. It goes fast, but like I said, it goes straight to seeds, so it don't last long. Last of the shallots. Doing quite good. Now, the garlic chives. This was harvested 3 weeks ago maybe. Cut right back, right to the ground. And back here, I took all the soil out of the bed here. It was infested with this one grass that got very deep roots. So I took all the soil out of here and transplanted new plants. They've done nothing. I don't know why, but they've done nothing. I don't know if it's just the soil staying hot or what it is. But they really never did anything. But the old plants, regular harvest out of this. Look at that, oh, beautiful. Now, the weeds. Unlike most people, I water the weeds. I don't complain that I have weeds. I use them to my advantage. I feed them to my animals. There's only one, this one here, they don't eat that. This one they don't eat. But everything else is free food, you know. There's some volunteer Thai chilies. Right here, this is all through this area. I replanted kale yesterday, so nothing up yet. But all this stuff is all volunteer. The Thai chilies have been transplanted. The 2 eggplant, that's where they decided to grow. These here are volunteers that just exploded the last few days in size. We've got 3 more against the wall. One needs to be propped up. They're doing pretty good. Right here, I grew potatoes. And I got an harvest, and I didn't even take a picture of it. After my last potato video, I decided I'm not even taking a picture. But what I did is I planted them in pots and then put the pots in the bed. Makes harvest very easy. I had 4 plants. 1 died right away. 2 did okay. And 1 did really well. We got a nice, good bowl full. I'd say about a pound. Small potatoes, they were delicious. This bed is empty. I haven't grown anything in here this year except passion fruit growing in the end, and I think that's it. Just some weeds, mostly grass. I just take this stuff out at the end of the day. I feed my rabbits. This is where I get the food from, you know, homegrown food. I don't see a problem with that. But I've always been debating for a long time taking these 2 beds out and getting the space back, because we have more garden space than we need. This is the one with the bananas. I cut the bananas back already, fed them to the goats, and a couple of them, 3 or 4 of them are still alive. They're coming back. They come back from the root. And this is cassava. I cut this right back. Gone 100%. And the roots in here are huge. There's a truckload of cassava in that bed. And you can see all this around here. That's what we do with our compost that nothing is going to eat. We put it in this bed, use it like a mulch. And it works. I haven't watered this bed this year. Hasn't been watered all through the dry season, probably 3 months. This hasn't gotten any water. Doesn't seem to be suffering. You know what I mean? If you don't care that if it dies or not, it just takes off. If you're trying to keep it alive, you gotta fight with it. That's just how gardening works, unfortunately. Well, that's it, guys. That's the garden. It's mostly success. Some failures. Some crops were on our second planting. The garden season here is basically November until any time after now. Last year in February, it was 42 degrees Celsius during the day and over 30 during the night. It was crazy hot. But normally that weather shows up around April, March, April time. Last year we got it really early. Hopefully this year it's April or later, or not at all would even be better. But last year was really, really hot and the garden really suffered for it. This year things are looking much, much better. Like I said, we harvest out of here every day. We're giving away a ton of food right now. We don't have a whole pile of different crops, but you know, just the shallots alone is something to give away every day, you know, because they're just booming. And it's something that gets eaten an awful lot here. My grandma gets a handful every day for sure. Alright guys, as always, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. One last look at the garden.